Can I tell you something that your hairdresser will never say to your face? Some of the most popular haircuts for women over 60, the ones being recommended every single day in salons around the world, are quietly, accidentally, making you look older. You booked the appointment. You sat in that chair feeling like, okay, new hair, new me. Maybe you even showed her a photo, and then you walked out, caught a glimpse of yourself in a shop window, and something felt off. You couldn't quite put your finger on it, but you knew. Suddenly you looked less like yourself and more like your mother. God bless her. And the worst part, you tipped her anyway. Today, we are calling out the 3 haircuts that are doing women over 60 absolutely no favors, and I'm giving you the exact alternatives that are modern, effortless, and honestly, might make people think you've discovered the fountain of youth. No filters, no surgery, just the right cut. And if you've had one of these cuts recently, don't panic, don't touch a thing. Watch this first, because the fix is simpler than you think. Okay, first up, the one that has been haunting salon chairs since approximately 1974. The classic short perm. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Tight, uniform, curls, sitting on top of the head like a little helmet that has absolutely no intention of moving. Not in the wind, not in the rain, not even in a hurricane. This cut has been passed down through generations like a family heirloom. Your grandmother had it, your mother had it, and somewhere, right now, a stylist is recommending it to a perfectly stylish woman and calling it low maintenance. Now here's what's actually happening when you sit under that perm solution and why this cut is working against you. Those tight curls add bulk and width around the sides of your head, and width on the sides pulls attention straight to the widest part of your face, which, after 60, tends to be right around the jaw and the cheeks. Then the stiffness, because there's zero movement in this cut, makes everything look harder. And hardness in a hairstyle emphasizes lines, not softens them. So instead of framing your face beautifully, it's actually boxing it in. You're not aging. The cut is aging you. There's a difference. And listen, I say this with full love and respect, but the moment a woman gets this perm, something happens. Suddenly the cardigans appear. The sensible shoes multiply. It's like the hair sends a signal to the whole wardrobe. The cut doesn't just age your hair, it ages your entire vibe. And your vibe is too good for that. So here's what you do instead. Ask your stylist for what I call the soft wave bob. Same idea, short, manageable, easy. But instead of tight uniform curls, you're going for loose, soft waves, face framing, a little bit of bend, a little bit of bounce, hair that moves when you move. The difference on camera and in real life is honestly night and day. One says, I gave up. The other says, I just got back from somewhere fabulous. You want length that just grazes the jaw or sits slightly below it. Ask for long layers to keep the weight out. And if your hair is naturally gray or white, oh, this cut is going to be everything. Gray hair with soft waves is one of the most stunning combinations a woman can wear. Remember this, movement is youth. Stiffness is age. Your hair should look alive because you are. All right, number 2. And this one is sneaky because unlike the perm, this cut actually looks modern in the magazine. It looks clean. It looks intentional. You see it on a model with perfect bone structure, and you think, yes, that's the one. That's my transformation. And then you get it, and something is wrong, but you can't figure out what. What you got, my friend, is the blunt bowl cut, and it has been quietly aging women over 60 while pretending to be chic. Here's how you know you're looking at a bowl cut. One length, all the way around. No layers, no graduation, just a line, like someone placed a cap on your head, cut straight around the edge, and called it a day. Sometimes it sits at the chin, sometimes just below the ear. But the signature is always the same. Blunt, heavy, and completely uniform from every angle. On a 25-year-old with thick hair and sharp cheekbones, stunning. On a woman over 60 with finer hair and softer features, it is doing the absolute opposite of what she hoped. So here's exactly what's happening. That blunt, heavy line at the bottom of the cut drags everything downward, and after 60, gravity is already doing enough of that on its own. The last thing you need is your hairstyle joining in. Then there's the weight issue. All that bulk sitting at one length flattens the crown completely, and a flat crown means a flat silhouette, which makes the face look wider, heavier, and, here's the word no woman wants to hear, droopy. And fine hair under a bowl cut just gives up entirely. It has no structure to hold on to, so it just sits there looking limp and shapeless by midday. Your hair should be lifting you, not pulling you down. I think what happens is, we see easy to maintain, and our brain just sprints toward it. And listen, I get it. After decades of hot rollers and hairspray and sitting under dryers the size of spacecraft, easy sounds incredible. But there is a very fine line between effortlessly chic and my stylist stopped trying. And the bowl cut, bless its heart, has crossed that line. Easy should never mean invisible, and you, my love, should never be invisible. Here's your fix. 2 beautiful words. Layered. Lob. The lob, or long bob, sits anywhere from just below the jaw to the collarbone. But the magic isn't the length, it's the layers. Layers do something extraordinary for women over 60. They remove bulk from the bottom, where you don't want weight, and they build volume at the crown and through the mid-lengths, exactly where you do. The result is hair that looks full, alive, and dimensional. Hair that moves. Hair that frames your face instead of boxing it in. And here's your salon script. Walk in and say, I want a lob with long layers and some texture through the ends. Those words alone will change your life, or at least your reflection. Which, honestly, same thing. Layers are the closest thing to a non-surgical facelift that your hairdresser can give you. Use them. Now, before I get into number 3, I need you to hear me clearly. This next one is controversial, because unlike the perm and the bowl cut, this cut, done right, on the right woman, can be absolutely breathtaking. Halle Berry, Judi Dench, Toni Morrison. Women who wore short crops and looked like they could run a country, and probably did. But here's the truth that nobody in that salon is telling you, and it's the reason I'm calling it the erasure. For most women over 60, the super short cropped cut doesn't make you look bold. It makes you look erased, and you have worked too hard, lived too fully, and are too utterly fabulous for that. You know this cut, clipped very close to the head, almost no length on top, maybe half an inch, sometimes less, tight at the sides, sometimes tapered at the neck. It's the cut that well-meaning stylists suggest when they say things like, at your age, short is so much easier to manage, which, side note, is one of the most backhanded things a person can say with a smile on their face. At your age. As if you've retired from having a great hair day. Here's what's actually happening with this cut on a woman over 60. First, volume. As we age, hair naturally gets finer and thinner. A super short crop removes every bit of length that could create the illusion of fullness. What's left sits flat against the scalp, and if there's any thinning at the crown, and most of us have some, it's now completely visible, on display. No softness to hide behind. Second, softness. The older we get, the more our faces benefit from soft, face-framing elements around them. Gentle layers, a little movement near the cheekbones. The super short crop removes all of that completely. Every feature, every line, every shadow is now fully exposed with nothing to balance it. And third, this is the one that really matters, femininity. Not in an old-fashioned, you must have long hair way, but in the sense that most women over 60 have a softness to their features that deserves to be complimented, not stripped away. The cut that was supposed to make you look effortless ends up making you look like a smaller, harder version of yourself. And you are neither of those things. Here's what I think happens. A woman turns 60, and somewhere, from society, from magazines, from well-meaning relatives, she gets this quiet message that long, styled, expressive hair is no longer for her, that she should simplify, shrink, take up less space, and I reject that completely. Your hair is not a burden to be managed. It is part of how you show up in the world, and how you show up still matters enormously. If you love short hair, and many women genuinely do, here is your alternative. The textured pixie, or the side-swept shortcut. Same ease, same low maintenance, but with intention built in. You're keeping a little more length on top, enough to style with some volume. You're adding texture, so the hair has movement and dimension instead of lying flat. And you're asking for a side sweep, even a subtle one, because asymmetry immediately softens the whole face. Walk into your salon and say, I want a shortcut, but I want to keep volume on top, some texture through the crown, and a soft side sweep. And then you show them a photo. Always show them a photo. Short hair with intention is chic. Short hair without it is surrender. And we are not surrendering anything. The goal was never to look young. The goal is to look like the most alive, most radiant version of yourself, right now. And the right cut gets you there. So we've talked about the perm that boxes you in, the bowl cut that pulls you down, and the crop that strips away your softness. Three very different cuts. But here's what's fascinating, and I want you to really hear this. They all share the exact same flaw. They were all designed for convenience, not for you. They were designed to be quick to cut, easy to maintain, and simple to recommend. They were not designed by someone who looked at your face, your specific, beautiful, lived-in face, and asked, what does this woman need to look extraordinary? And that right there is the entire problem. Here is the golden rule. Write this down if you have to. The best haircut for a woman over 60 has three things. Movement, so your hair looks alive. Softness, so your features look lifted, not exposed. And intention, meaning every single thing about that cut was chosen specifically for your face, your hair texture, and the woman you actually are. Movement, softness, intention, not short because it's easier, not the same cut your stylist gives every woman your age. Not whatever is fastest to finish before her lunch break. You deserve a stylist who sees you as an individual, who treats your hair as a canvas, not a checkbox. And here is the single most powerful thing you can do before your next salon appointment, and I promise you, this one tip alone is worth the entire video. Bring a photo. I know, it sounds almost too simple. But the number of women who sit in that chair and try to describe what they want, using words like not too short and kind of layered and, just nice, and then wonder why they don't get what they pictured. A photo removes every single point of miscommunication. It shows your stylist exactly the silhouette, the texture, the movement you're after. It gives them something real to work toward. Find a woman whose hair you love, ideally someone close to your age, with a similar face shape. Screenshot it, save it, bring it. Your future reflection will thank you. I want to say something before we wrap up, and I mean this sincerely. Somewhere along the way, women over 60 were sold the idea that style, beauty, and reinvention are things you age out of, that at some point you hand in your card and just settle. I don't believe that, not even a little. 60 is not the end of your style story. In a lot of ways, with everything you now know about yourself, everything you've stopped apologizing for, everything you've finally grown into, it might just be the most stylish chapter yet. And it starts with a haircut that actually sees you. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you had one of these three cuts? Are you currently sitting with one of them on your head right now? Drop it in the comments. Tell me which one. Tell me when you got it. And tell me if you felt that moment, that shop window moment, where something just felt off. And if this video helped you, or if you know a woman who needs to see it, please share it. Because honestly, this is the conversation that should be happening in every salon. And since it isn't, we'll have it here.